Winter is here and I cannot wait to share with you all my ultimate winter perfume recommendations. I personally curated today's lineup as I will be using these perfumes on my winter perfume tray. So having said that, the fragrances that I chose to be featured in today's video are my type of winter perfumes. Not only they smell wintry or they smell amazing, all of these perfumes are also winter heavy hitters, okay? Meaning they all have an amazing performance, already tried and tested to last under extremely cold weather. I'm gonna warn you because there's a lot of vanilla centric perfumes that will be shown in today's video, as I feel like vanilla is my winter go-to vibe this year. Now, speaking of vanilla, the first perfume that I'm going to talk about is very new in my collection. I will say the newest in today's list. However, guys, this perfume blew me away to the point that I knew that this has to be in my winter perfume tray this year. And this is the newest release of Parfums Empire Madagascar Baume Vanille. I've seen this perfume in their account since September, I think, or October. And since then, I couldn't wait to try it because I truly love this niche perfume house. I will say they're one of my favorite niche perfume brands. And no, this is not a sponsored video. It's just that I feel like Parfums Empire is such an underrated niche perfume house because their fragrances have extremely good quality. And I'm not talking about just their scents, but the performance of their perfumes are just fantastic. So when I heard that they are coming up with a vanilla perfume, you cannot imagine how excited I was. So now let's talk about the scent. Madagascar Baume Vanille has notes of rum, black and pink pepper, cloves, cinnamon, cacao, cedarwood, coconut, vanilla, and musk. Oh my God, the opening of this is to die for. In the top, it says it has black and pink pepper, but to be honest, I really don't get any pepper in here. This to me opens like an addictive kind of gourmand. So having said that, sweet, almost like bakery kind of vanilla, along with something extremely creamy and boozy at the same time. But then as this fragrance dries down though, it becomes spicy. The cloves and cinnamon are definitely present in the mid until the final dry down. To me, this smells like as if the vanilla and cacao pods are infused with rum. And imagine those infused pods in a bed of coconut flesh sprinkled with cinnamon and cloves. Yeah, that's how Madagascar Baume Vanille smells like. This is absolutely my type of vanilla. It is warm, creamy, almost like custard type of vanilla, plus that booziness coming from the rum. And I love the fact that there's something creamy about it as well. And it is for sure the coconut note in here. I love the fact that this fragrance takes you to different stages. I will say it starts off quite gourmand. You will actually think that this might be like a bakery or sweet type of gourmand vanilla. However, as I pass through the mid, I find the spices here quite prominent. And then in the final dry down, the woods, leather, and that dusty cacao really stays along with custardy type of vanilla. I absolutely love this fragrance. I think this year is the year of vanillas, as I've been to several perfume conferences this year, and what I noticed is that there were so many new vanilla releases this year, and in my opinion, Madagascar Baume Vanille is the best out of all the vanilla dominant perfumes that I've tried this year. This is truly remarkable. I will say a masterpiece level kind of vanilla. I had high expectations and it was definitely met. This vanilla ticked all the boxes for me. It is extremely rich, classy type of vanilla that I would love to smell like. If I can think of a perfume that somehow reminds me of it, I will say Vanille Havan. I'm gonna pop a photo of it on the screen. If you love that perfume, you will definitely love Madagascar Baume Vanille. However, with Madagascar Baume Vanille, the leather and the tobacco, of course, is not that prominent. I don't think this fragrance has tobacco anyway, but it has hay. So hence it is somehow giving that dark, smoky touches. I love that it is creamy and the creaminess is coming from the coconut. The cacao in here is very dusty though. So just keep that in mind. However, the vanilla that they use in here is absolutely fantastic. I can tell truly of high quality, and I highly recommend you checking out this fragrance, guys. Actually, I highly recommend you Parfums de Empire in general, because I feel like that brand is extremely underrated, and I think they're one of the best niche perfume houses out there. Anyway, guys, Madagascar Baume Vanille, the best vanilla perfume release this year. I find this fragrance unisex, and I would say the kind of unisex that's just right in the middle. This fragrance really took my breath away. It will definitely be in my top perfume discoveries this year. It is just outstanding. Yeah. I cannot rave enough about Madagascar Baume Vanille by Parfum Empire. Alright, speaking of vanilla, I cannot wait to finally rock this fragrance, as now winter is finally here in Portugal, and this is Black Opium Le Parfum by Yves Saint Laurent. Now, I purchased this fragrance, I think, springtime this year. So I haven't really played with it yet because I was waiting for winter to come. Basically, this is a beautiful, warm vanilla scent that I think will be perfect for everyday use. This will be my official daily wearabout scent this winter. Normally, I use my Montguerlain Intense, but I feel like I've been using Montguerlain Intense for the past 2 or 3 years during winter time. So I'm going to change it up a little bit this year, and I'm going for Black Opium Le Parfum. In case you're wondering if it smells like the OG Black Opium, I will say yes, it has the DNA of it. However, the coffee is not that pronounced, and even the patchouli is tamed. This is definitely more of the vanilla, and the vanilla that is in here is very warm, cozy, and delicious all at the same time. This is probably the last designer perfume that really impressed me. I know a lot of people are talking about Shalimar, the new Shalimar now, Shalimar L'Essence. I've tried that several times. Every time I'm traveling, I always spray it on me when I see it in the airport. However, I didn't feel the need of having it. Yeah, I'm just gonna put it that way, even though it is an okay fragrance. Yeah, anyway, I don't want to talk about that now. This winter time, I will definitely be rocking my Black Opium Le Parfum. This is a beautiful, warm vanilla, perfect for daily use, quite sweet, and I love the fact that it is a bit powdery as well. I really think that this is a perfect daily winter scent, and the performance is amazing, guys. I used it the other day and it lasted the entire day. It created a beautiful scent bubble the entire wear time. So I really and truly enjoy using this fragrance, and I highly recommend it if you're looking for a good daily vanilla scent this winter time. Once again, Black Opium Le Parfum by Yves Saint Laurent. I find this fragrance feminine leaning. Another daily winter scent is my current favorite from Giza Parfums, and this is Akoya. Guys, if you're following my channel, you know how much I love this fragrance. This was love at first sniff for me. I raved about it the moment I got it last March when I was in Dubai. Basically, this is a raspberry, lavender, and caramel bomb. Yeah, it is so beautiful. And what I love about this fragrance is that it is beast mode, okay? This fragrance will definitely leave a sillage everywhere you go, especially if you spray more than 6 sprays. So having said that, if you're the type of person who is mindful and demure. Just keep that in mind. However, if you're the type who don't really care about those kind of things, then yes, you can overspray this perfume. Of course, I love how the lavender and raspberry are mixed in this fragrance, giving it freshness and at the same time clean feel. It is sweetened up by caramel. Overall, it is a fruity, woody scent that is also sweet because the caramel in here is very prominent. So keep that in mind because this is a sweet perfume, okay? It's like the lavender and raspberry are drizzled with caramel. The underlying base though is sandalwood. The jasmine is just in the background, so you will definitely get hints of white florals, and I absolutely love it. Now, I've seen a lot of people are comparing this with Oud Maracuja by Maison Cavelli, and I don't find them similar at all. Akoya has a very distinct lavender that makes it different from a lot of perfumes. Also, the caramel in here makes a big difference as well because there's something about how Giza does caramel in their perfumes. Like, it is light and airy, not cloying. However, it is strong. So yeah, as mentioned, it is a very sweet perfume as well. So keep that in mind. Anyway, guys, I can't recommend enough Akoya by Giza. I actually know that a lot of you have purchased this fragrance after my recommendation. This is truly a winter heavy hitter. I cannot wait to rock this fragrance this winter time, and I highly recommend it. I find this fragrance perfectly unisex as well. Now, another everyday cozy winter scent, and this is more of Tonka. Tonka Extraordinaire by Experimental Perfume Club. I will say that this is my favorite Tonka perfume. Yeah, period. In my opinion, nothing has beat this fragrance when it comes to coziness and at the same time performance as well. This is extremely addictive. Aside from the Tonka, this also has prominent sesame, almond, and hazelnut. So having said that, it is a very nutty yet cozy scent. It is absolutely beautiful. It is quite resinous and incensey as well. So to me, this smells like the holidays too. There's something about this fragrance that is very cozy and warm, a hug in a bottle. And yeah, I think it is absolutely fantastic. I love how sweet and cozy the Tonka is in here, and the nuttiness just made a big difference in my opinion. Because for sure, there's a lot of Tonka dominant perfumes that feels cozy and warm. However, with Tonka Extraordinaire, it's the nuttiness coming from the sesame, hazelnut, and almond that gave difference to this fragrance. The sesame, I would say, is the most prominent nut note out of the three nutty notes that I mentioned. A very cozy, everyday, nutty Tonka scent that is perfect this winter time, and I'm so excited to wear Tonka Extraordinaire again. Once again, guys, Tonka Extraordinaire by Experimental Perfume Club. This is my favorite from the brand, and performance-wise is fantastic as well. Lasts more than 8 hours. I will say the first 2 hours has strong projection until it becomes moderate. This will definitely stay on your clothes, and yeah, I love it so much. Highly recommend it if you are looking for the coziest and warmest long-lasting Tonka perfume. I also find this fragrance unisex. All right, next fragrance is a winter night kind of scent, and this is a perfume that I haven't used for quite a long time, and I actually regretted it because when I was choosing the perfumes to be in today's list, I was kind of regretting why I haven't talked about Tom Ford's Noir Extreme in my channel. This perfume is so beautiful. This is basically like a spicy and fluffy kind of woody gourmand. Yeah, that's how I'm gonna describe it. It has a rose that is just in the background, giving this fragrance dark, feminine vibes. It is fluffy and powdery at the same time. It definitely smells like a dessert, like a kulfi. The backbone of it is vanilla, amber, and sandalwood. So having said that, like it has a creamy, woody base, plus that powdery kind of gourmand that I find very addictive. The spiciness, I would say, is just in the opening. The final dry down to me is basically orange blossom, rose, some powdery nuance, I think coming from the coffee note, sweet vanilla, amber, and sandalwood. This is a kind of fragrance that will give that sweet yet dark feminine vibes. I absolutely love it. And not only it smells good, it also lasts for a very long time, especially on clothes. Actually, first 2 hours of this fragrance really has a strong projection. And yeah, I find it very likable. My husband loves this fragrance on me. And yeah, I cannot wait to rock this fragrance once again. I highly recommend it. Noir Extreme by Tom Ford. If the sound of a sweet orange blossom, rose, vanilla, amber, and sandalwood combo sounds appealing to you. And I find this fragrance feminine leaning. All right, we're halfway, guys. Next fragrance is a staple in my winter perfume tray. Absolutely love it. This is part of my top 10 for life. Iris Shot by Olfactive Studio. Guys, basically, to me, this is the best Iris perfume that I have in my collection. And why is that? It is because this Iris perfume takes me to different stages. It starts off quite vegetal, and then as I approach the mid, I get the lipsticky factor of it. Then the final dry down becomes buttery and creamy kind of iris. I absolutely love this fragrance. The opening has aldehydes that kind of gives that vintage vibe, I would say. So just keep that in mind. The final dry down, guys, is absolutely beautiful. It is more of like a lipsticky and buttery kind of iris along with the cedar and vetiver. To me, this is a perfect example of a quiet luxury fragrance. Like every time I wear it, it reminds me so much of the word aristocrat. Yeah, that's how I'm gonna describe it. I can imagine a woman wearing like a wool sweater and wool coat, high-heeled leather boots. Yeah, that is the vibe of this fragrance. And also, this is one of my go-to winter scents. Highly recommend it, especially if you love iris in your fragrances. Once again, Iris Shot by Olfactive Studio, and I find this fragrance feminine leaning. All right, now I'm going to talk about a sensual dark vanilla that I think will be perfect for any kind of date nights. This is Rosendo Mateu number 9. Now, I've talked about this fragrance the moment it was released. I tried it for the first time in Essence, and I told you guys that this is definitely giving Rosendo Mateu number 5, kind of amber and musk. However, guys, number 9, in my opinion, has an addition of slightly animalic leather. Yeah, that's how I'm gonna describe it, to the point that this actually reminds me so much of Baby Cat by Yves Saint Laurent. So imagine Baby Cat plus Rosendo Mateu number 5. That's the perfect description. This is another remarkable vanilla perfume release. In my humble opinion, I love the animalic leather, amber, and tobacco combo in here because to me it smells so sexy. If you find Baby Cat sexy, then you will definitely find Rosendo Mateu number 9 sexy as well. This also has like a prominent cardamom and a resinous LME that stays the entire time. I find it to be remarkable. This is a kind of vanilla scent that will get you noticed, in my opinion. And I'm actually wondering why not a lot of people are talking about this fragrance, because I find it truly amazing and one of the best pieces this year. I would say if you love the idea of leather, tobacco, saffron, and like a dark kind of vanilla, then you will love Rosendo Mateu number 9. Now, next up is another dark, sensual winter night kind of a scent, and this is Myrrh Shadow by Bon Parfumer. Now, I have attended the launch of this perfume this year, and during that time, I was kind of bummed because I had to wait until this time to finally take it out of my shelf. Guys, this is such a beautiful, fresh, aromatic, and resinous scent. Yeah, that's how I'm gonna describe it. I know it sounds ironic because, as mentioned, it is fresh, it is aromatic, yes, and at the same time, it is also dark and resinous. Now, this fragrance starts off fresh because of the bitter orange, black currant, and ginger. It has a very uplifting opening that I find truly appealing. However, as this fragrance dries down, it takes you into a journey. I will say the mid of this fragrance is kind of green, kind of like aromatic. The basil and the cypress really takes over, covering up the freshness and the zing of ginger. And then as the final dry down approaches, the myrrh, benzoin, akigala wood, and vanilla picks through, giving this fragrance that refined yet soft and powdery feel. I absolutely love this fragrance. The kind of vanilla in here is green. So if you are the type who enjoys green vanilla, you will love Myrrh Shadow as well. The myrrh, of course, alongside with the benzoin and patchouli are the star of the show. So having said that, it is still resinous. However, it is a kind of resinous scent that becomes soft and powdery in the final dry down. And to me, I find it quite unique and magical because normally a resinous scent will give you that dark and bold energy. However, I love the softness of Myrrh Shadow. As mentioned, this becomes quite powdery in the final dry down, giving this fragrance like that vintage vibes to it. However, this is a kind of vintage that is quite modern to me. Yeah, I know, such a contrast. It is because of the fresh and aromatic nuance coming from the basil and cypress. It is truly a beautiful fragrance. I will say that this is one of my best discoveries this year. Actually, if you notice, most of the perfumes that I'm featuring today are like one of my best discoveries. It is because I truly love them. And yeah, Myrrh Shadow is definitely one of them. This is a creation of Quentin Bish. So I can really tell that his DNA is in here, especially how the akigala wood and basil is done in here, as I noticed he loves using those two notes. Anyway, this is really more of like a resinous, dark, yet soft and powdery scent. It's a different kind of myrrh dominant scent, and I highly recommend it. If the sound of a soft, vintagey, powdery, resinous scent sounds appealing to you, this is such a complex and beautiful release. I love it, and I think that this is perfect this winter time. Once again, Myrrh Shadow, and I find this fragrance unisex, just right in the middle. And also, I just want to mention, of course, the performance of this fragrance is outstanding as well. Lasts for more than 8 hours, especially on clothes. All right, next up is another winter staple, and this is my beloved Amouage material. Basically, this is a regal and luxurious smelling vanilla, incense, and amber scent of my dreams. This fragrance reminds me a lot of my first class days when I was still working in airline. I first discovered material when I saw it in one of my first class passengers. And yeah, since then I've been hooked. I think that this is a perfect winter scent, a kind of scent that I will wear if I have to attend a special gathering. This is a kind of fragrance that doesn't really scream. However, it has a big impact. I love how the vanilla and incense are balanced in here, giving it that perfect luxury vibes. I highly recommend it. If the sound of an incensey kind of dark vanilla mixed with resinous amber sounds appealing to you. In my opinion, this is one of Amouage's best as well. Once again, material by Amouage, performance is outstanding, definitely above average, and it lasts all day long. Also, I find this fragrance unisex, however, slightly leaning more masculine. It is a kind of unisex fragrance that I will definitely rock. All right, last but not the least is a fragrance that I don't own a full bottle yet. However, I truly enjoy it. As a matter of fact, I always carry this with me every time I go to perfume conferences around the world. This is Oud Cadenza by Maison Crivelli. Now, to me, this is my kind of oud scent. And why is that? It is because it is perfectly sweet. Yes, it is quite animalic. Actually, it has a powerhouse strong notes. It has saffron, benzoin, oud of course, and animalic leather. However, it is perfectly blended with the sweetness coming from the sugarcane, dates, and caramel. Those sweet notes are quite thick. I'm loving it so much. I think this is my favorite oud based scent. Yes, another big claim. That's how much I love Oud Cadenza. As a matter of fact, I have a very tiny bit left. I am definitely buying a full bottle of it, as this is definitely my style, my vibe. I love a sweetened kind of oud, you know, slightly animalic leather, saffron, slightly spiced as well. What I love about it is the way it is sweetened by the caramel, dates, and sugarcane. I'm not going to consider this as a gourmand. I mentioned it is sweet. However, it is like a sweetened kind of oud, leather, and patchouli combo that I just adore. I considered Oud Cadenza as one, or if not, my best discovery of last year. And yeah, this is still one of my favorites in my collection, and I cannot wait to use it this winter time because it is truly amazing. Once again, Oud Cadenza, if the sound of a sweet animalic leather saffron oud combo sounds appealing to you. Performance is quite beastly. You will definitely be noticed when you wear this scent. I find this fragrance feminine leaning. All right, so that is the video for today, guys. Those are my top winter perfume recommendations. How did you find it? Probably some of you are thinking for me to do an affordable version of this, which I will surely do. You have to watch out for it next week. But basically, these perfumes will be the base of my winter perfume tray, plus the affordable version coming up next week. I hope that you enjoy today's list. And yeah, once again, thank you all so much for watching, guys, and see you on my next one. Bye!